So Ace Grading say they fixed a few issues that they were having with their slabs. So I've got the latest returns here and one of the original slabs, and we're going to compare the two to see if those changes have actually made a difference. Let's go. Hey guys, my name's Mattculli and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing two things. Firstly, we're going to be seeing how I got on with my grades with my latest returns from Ace. I submitted 2 cards. I had the Ace labels done for an Umbreon and a Venusaur, and I'm hoping that we get some solid grades, and I'm really excited to actually see what those Ace labels look like. But once we've done that, we're going to be doing a comparison between the changes they've made on these slabs compared to the original slabs. These ones right here, I submitted a slab very early on with Ace, like pretty much straight away, and this was before they made any tweaks. So we're going to put these side by side and see if those changes have actually made a difference. We're also going to compare these slabs to a couple of other clear slabs, because some points were made in some videos that actually some of the defects that people have mentioned about these are something that just is across the board with clear slabs. So I'm going to put some side by side, and it might I don't know, clear a few things up for people. But before all of that, if you are new here and you enjoy all things Pokemon, do consider hitting the subscribe here on the channel and dropping a big thumbs up on the video if you liked it and you found it informative. That'd be great. Anyway, let's see how we got on with the grades first. For reference, I submitted these via the Premier service level and they took 11 business days to get them back to me, so pretty spot on. And there they are. Again, they come really well packaged, guys. It comes in this box like this, which is inside a bigger box, which is then wrapped in tissue paper. Extremely well protected. Look, the cards are wrapped up in there as well. You can't complain about how it comes packaged. Okay, here we go. First card off the bat. Now, I know I submitted 2 celebrations cards on this service level, and I went for the Ace labels. These are my first Ace label from them, and the first one is a Venusaur in a 9. I'll take a 9. I will take a 9, and I think that looks really good. I'm a big fan of these Ace labels, actually, especially on like a set like this. I feel like, you know, a lot of the cards I'll go standard. I don't think I'll use Ace labels on most of, like, if I submit cards to them again, most of it will be standard labels. That's probably my favorite. But with celebrations, I really thought I should get a set of celebrations card done with this Ace label, because I do like the design. I believe they say that's meant to be like a vine whip going on inside there, but I'm really happy. It got a 9. I think this could have been so close to a 10. I can't really see anything. I can't really think of any marks, like whether the corners, is there any white dots in any corners? Maybe the slightest. And that bottom right corner, I don't know if you can see, there is the tiniest white mark down there, but overall that looks really really clean, actually. So that must be super close to getting a 10. Okay, next card up, and I know what this is going to be, and it's a 9 as well. It's the Umbreon Gold Star from Celebrations in a 9, and the label works really well on this card, actually. The red and black like that matching the background, I actually think that works really nicely. This is an Ace label, not a color match label, so it's standard, color match, and Ace. Ace being more of a design thing. Look, it's got the ribbon in it because of Celebrations, and I actually really like this. And for a set like this, I think it's quite cool to offer this feature for it, because this set for me is not about like money and return on investment. It's more about presenting it, and it's like a moment in Pokemon history, and I thought it was really cool to have this unique style label with all of these cards. And again, must have been so close to a 10. Like, that looks really good. Is it slightly thicker on the bottom? I think it might be slightly off center. Other than that, I can't see any marks. 2 9s to kick off my Celebrations Ace label collection. I'm pretty damn happy with that. Okay, so let's talk about the changes, and there were 2 changes. One was to the bottom part here, and we'll look at that in a minute. But firstly, we'll look at the other change, and that was they've changed their ultrasonic press that they use to actually seal these together, because they've had 2 issues. The first issue, which I actually have on this slab, was it may be really clear and there's like no whitening at all in these things, just the tiniest bit here, but really it's really clean. Mine isn't sealed very well. I can actually get my fingernail in here, and I think I can actually split it open. Well, it went from this, where it was really clear and maybe a bit loose, they went to another extreme at one point where it went really white, where basically they over pressed it. Because essentially what happens is this plate comes down, it vibrates, and it slightly melts the plastic, which causes them to seal together and cause a nice seam that you're not going to be able to break apart. Well, they went from one extreme to the other. One, it was too loose, and another one, it was too hard. Apparently they've replaced their plate that they use and managed to get it to kind of do the right amount of seal but reduce the amount of whitening. And I think it's done a pretty good job. Like, there is still a bit of whitening in some of the joins, as you'll see around here. Look, there I think is mainly, you'll notice it, but overall it's pretty clean with that. And actually when it comes to this join around the edge, like, I can't get my nails in this join at all around this edge like I could on this one. But the whitening side of things obviously hasn't gone away, and I don't think it's ever going to go away, because if you look at some other clear cases, like some of these, got Universal Grading Service, they've got whitening in their clear case just around the edge there. Get Graded has got quite a bit. Like, you look at this top corner there, there's some whitening, and also down in this seam here as well. And even Beckett have it. Look, just here, there's very, very clear whitening down there. And this is all to do with the fact that it is just a clear case. So when this plastic discolors slightly from the heat and the pressure going through it, it's going to show up. Whereas if this was frosted, and same goes for this, if this was a frosted case, you wouldn't see any of that whitening because it would be merged into the frosting. So just in the virtue of it being clear, you are going to notice some defects like that. One thing you can still see is you do still have these little triangle air pockets, which a lot of people have said, like, oh, there's hair in my case and blah blah blah, but all Ace slabs seem to have these little triangles, and I think it's like a defect in the case. You even look at the original one here, this is the one that I had graded right at the very start. It's still got those little triangle points in there, and they do kind of look like hairs, but you can kind of tell it's where like a little pocket of air has formed inside there and showed up. The other thing they looked to resolve, guys, was the fact that the bottom of these slabs was pretty ugly. So as you can see, what they looks like they've done is they've tried to slightly smooth it out by planing it instead, so it's definitely smoother, whereas on this one there's more of a lump, and you might be able to make out there's like a slightly rough edge to it. They actually did at one point, they actually tried sanding the bottom of these on some submissions, and it looked so terrible. It went completely white. It really didn't look well, and they have managed to sort of eradicate that by doing like a plane. You can kind of see it. It looks like a little bit chunky, but actually weirdly, if you run your finger, it is actually really smooth. It's quite deceiving, and this is all to do with the way they manufacture these cases. Essentially what they have is an injection mold. So the shape of this, they'll fill it with plastic, and it will, excess of it will come out a hole where they filled it in, and then that will get snapped off, and then they have to smooth it in some way. Now they're not the only ones to do it. Beckett do the same thing as well, but the thing is with Beckett, their hole is slightly smaller. It's about half the size really, so it's a lot less noticeable. So the question is, have these changes really made a difference? And to be honest, if they have, it's extremely minimal. You know, they still have a slight bit of roughness and untidiness to the bottom. Yes, it is better than when it first started, but it is still there, and I think until they actually change the mold and they get a different style injection port, they're never going to completely get away from this. But at this point, I actually want to hear from you. What do you think about it? Do you think it looks a lot better? Do you think they could do more? Are you going to start using them? Are you still never going to use them? Well, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do make sure to drop a subscribe on the channel and give the video a big thumbs up. It'd be very much appreciated. Other than that, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!